everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube. Once again, you can be very well aware that I somehow screwed up another audio recording yet again. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I thought it was recorded. I thought it was recording the audio, and I decided, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna scrap that. We'll do it all over again. And it literally had to be on the day where I am exhausted, and I probably missed a cable somewhere. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I really don't know. But with that being said, let's this week on Walker. Once again, in the second week in a row, the show has subverted its expectations. Where initially I thought we were gonna tackle on the big question of Walker and Jerry, and we got a little bit of an answer, but in reality we didn't really. We kind of just got more pandering and more just delaying the inevitable on the topic of another story beat, which I do get why they're doing so, but I'm just thinking, why? Come on, I just want an answer now. And they're just pushing the inevitable, and already this show's been very different for me as the whole. Again, if you remember by this way, I always thought the Emily murder thing was going to be a whole season's worth of plot, and they just basically put that in the first half, and then we still have this entire second half of the season, which. What else is next? I don't know. And if they just literally, well, I don't want to spoil anymore. But I still thought this was a good episode overall. I don't think it's one of the best Walker episodes, but it was still a good episode overall through and through. So with that being said, let's just go through the butchered recap, because I'm about to now go through the entire episode a second damn time. And no offense, I'm not mad. It's just I'm mad at myself for screwing up the audio recording, because sometimes my life sucks. So we begin in the sidestep under new management. August is doing a video. What was the name? A video message for Hoyt's return back to civilization now that he's been freed from prison. Walker's the last one to do the interview, but he's a little bit distracted with the whole Jerry thing. He wants to tell and talk about the kiss, but he still is not comfortable talking about it just quite yet. So he's just trying to pass it off, trying to delay it, even when August is doing the interview with him. So. Things are looking a little bit questioning for Walker. He gets a call from Mickey, who is informing him that she and Trey are currently just still waiting for the party to start. They have a little bit of a conversation about just things in general, about the state championships coming up for the school, and Trey's a bit worried that Stella's not going to be able to perform well because she's got her mind all wrapped up around Trevor, and he's hopeful that she's going to get out of it. Jerry brings over Hoyt, and Hoyt's immediately back into lover mode, romantic mode, but Jerry's not happening. Her mind's busy on the whole Walker kiss thing, and Hoyt's a bit concerned because he doesn't know about the kiss, but he is concerned that, hey, is everything all right? Are we good? It doesn't seem like we're good, and but Jerry's trying to calm him down, but there's something amiss here. But all that is kind of sidetracked when the surprise party happens. Everyone's there, everyone's happy to see Hoyt. Even Walker decides to give him one of their old-fashioned tussles. And everything seems to be fine, even though this is technically the first time Walker and Jerry have been in a room since that same room where they kissed. So it's a bit awkward between them, but the party is happening. Things are just lively over here, and even... But however, Jerry and Walker are still trying to avoid each other. They don't want to have the talk yet, and Jerry is talking to Mickey about the whole... just in general, just trying to drink the night away and trying to just forget things. And then you have Walker, which initially he is a bit concerned about the whole Jerry thing, but he's also a bit concerned that Stella's not there yet to at least see Hoyt because of how close their families were. But she's not there because we all know that she's off perusing Texas with August somewhere. No, not August. Damn, I freaking forgot the name. Damn, Trevor. I remember now. They're all perusing somewhere in some rural part of Texas. They're trying to get away from things. They're basically now at this point just trying to start a new life together, and they're trying to just figure out the bells and whistles there. Even Stella's just lying that I'm just with her best friend before the game starts, but in reality she's nowhere near to be found. So they plan out their next move. Stella's only concern is that they only have $40 to their name, and they don't. That's not really much to kind of start a new life. Trevor gets the bright idea about that there's a cabinet nearby that he used to go to as a family that could be just the place they need to go to kind of figure out their next move. So they head off that way. And then back at the sidestep, Walker is about to get close to Jerry and talk to her about things, but Hoyt decides to push them into a dance while he dances with Grandma Walker over there. Also, Grandpa Walker, not on this week. Where is he? I don't know. He's probably just off dicking around a fishing hole somewhere playing with the horses. This is the first time Walker and Jerry has had a sort of alone moment together, and it's awkward. It's definitely awkward. It's really hard for them to grasp the situation since they've been best friends for forever, and now the kiss changed everything since there is romantic feelings there, and how do they explore it since but they're both in interesting places since Walker still is getting over Emily somewhat, and Jerry is kind of tied down with Hoyt or something along that nature. And Jerry was kind of hoping that Walker would have like sort of an answer to kind of like just snap them back into place, but even he's like not really giving an answer. But Jerry just assumes like, oh, you just want to brush it off, kind of just like move on type thing, which Walker doesn't want. But Jerry's like, let's just do that. Let's just rip off the band and just tell Hoyt and move on with our lives. But as soon as she was about to, Hoyt gets into one of his good old-fashioned drunk engagement speeches where he tries to propose to Jerry, but Jerry just knows like, hey, you're drunk, don't forget about it. You need to stop. You need to take a break. But however, meanwhile, across town, I'm assuming a person transported with the Trevor's dad, the criminal who used to work with Duke, him, is currently in transport, and a group of motorcyclists decide to tail the bus, which probably does not mean anything good whatsoever. Sorry, my throat is tired. It's been a long day for me, and this tea is literally the only thing keeping me going by this point. So, we got a call. Mickey gets a call that the prisoners escaped, and the Trevor's dad was part of them. So Walker and her decides to head out and leave the party so they can go find them. They put on their vests and they're trying to think where he would go first. Their first bet is the bank. I believe the same bank that Duke and them were trying to hit up before everything went down. But however, even though Walker had a brief scare that maybe he found them, but it wasn't him. But when they go inside the safety deposit box to find the one under his name, all he finds is a bandana there and a note saying that just keep your circle small, Duke. And that's kind of just like a verbal warning to Walker about everything. So when all of the leads, they decide to go and explore the only option they have left, which was the woman Duke was seeing while he was Duke, that lady. So he decides to pay her a visit at the prison. I believe, we got a scene where Grandma Walker back at the Walker house, during which Liam is currently doing his first press interview as a candidate for DA. And it seems to have been going well, but however, Liam being a little bit more secretive with, Hoyt and such, and it's just kind of causing some suspicious things around the reporter, which not only once the article gets printed, it does come true that, Liam is hiding stuff, which includes, but doesn't just limit to Stella's minor criminal charges and Walker's upcoming hearing. So Liam is a bit worried since this could negatively affect his campaign, and Grandma Walker's like, you know what, you can talk about us. Like, I know you're trying to keep your family life private, but here's the thing: if you don't get ahead of this, then the story will be written without you, and then they will go out of control, and you will lose credibility towards this matter. So the best way to handle this is to tell the story from your words as soon as you can. So he kind of takes that to heart and thinks about it for a bit. Meanwhile, Stella and Trevor hit up the cabin. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. They're really having some nice bonding moments here, and it's nice to see. But the real reason that they're kind of there is that Trevor's dad left kind of like a getaway bag inside the chimney, which included but not limited to passports, money, weapons, all needed for a criminal that has to go on the run. Stella's a bit concerned about the guns, but Trevor's like, we might need them just in case, or if we don't think we need them, then we could just leave them behind. We just need the money to start a new life. So they have a couple peaceful moments there, but Stella's just not comfortable with the whole situation. She doesn't know what to really do. She kind of just wants to go home, but she doesn't want to leave Trevor. So she's trying to push him to hey, let's just go back to Austin. Let's go back to my family. They'll probably take you in, and we'll figure something out. But he doesn't want to. He needs to get away from Texas. He needs to start a new life somewhere, and he would prefer for Stella to be along for the ride. But even she's kind of a bit worried that this is not going to work out, and they I think they share not in that moment, but I think later on they share an "I love you" moment, and they kind of they're recommitted to let's do this. So meanwhile, Walker's hits up the prison. He meets up with his former Duke's former flame, and at first she's like not budging. She's claiming she doesn't know anything, and obviously she's still mad at Walker for lying to her, like pretending to be someone she cares about. And Walker is honest and saying like, look, I definitely you are someone I would have explored had my wife not just passed away, nor did I have a wife. So it wasn't technically always his fault. I mean, I know it's just like getting the blame off him, but whatever. So even with that being said, he still gets no information out of her, and Walker's about to leave. But before he leaves, he promises her that he will come to visit her once in a while to check in on her, just be there for her like no one else could, like just platonic, no strings attached, no questions, no requests, nothing. And that was enough to kind of peer through her, and she gives him a lead that the person they're looking for. He and his wife used to have this cabin nearby where they would just take their son there occasionally. So with that being said, they decide to go and track them down. But however, I think it was around the time where Mickey gets concerned that the prisoner logs did have Trevor's name listed so many times under that one dude, indicated that like, yeah, he is the son, and now that the son and Stella are together, this is gonna paint really a bad picture for everything that's about to happen. So I'm back at the cabin. Stella and then Trevor are having a fun time. They're just trying to be, happy with each other, and but however, when they were, I think, lighting up the chimney turns out to be broken and all the smoke stuck in the house. But before they can even have a chance to try and fix that situation, someone shows up. They assume it's Trevor's father, so they begin to retreat. They grab the guns. They try to escape the house. Stella manages to get away first, but Trevor gets taken away by the other dude. So he's kind of taken out for the count. Not forever, but you know what I mean. Around that same time, Walker and Mickey head up the cabin. They head inside. They notice the smoke, and they know Stella's back, so they know she was nearby. They hear gunshots nearby, so they decide to head suit, which is just Stella running away from I'm assuming one of Trevor's dad's friends who's trying to kill her. Eventually, she almost gets cornered by someone, but she assumes that it was him, but it wasn't. It turns out to be Walker, who does get mildly grazed in the shoulder. But it's just a scratch from him. It's not really that bad. But the other shooter does show up and tackles Walker. They have a bit of a fight. It's more like a revenge fight for that person since, he got burned by Duke. Mickey joins in to help out. They take out the dude, and that was basically it for the whole confrontation. And Stella asks him where's Trevor, and he's like he's with his dad. There was no point to like actually kill him. They just he just wanted his son back. So now that he's in the win again, Stella, I was presuming she was going to go off to try and find Trevor, but Walker stops her, saying that it wasn't right for her to keep this all a secret, since had she not kept it a secret, maybe they would have handled the situation differently and may have not led to this moment. Stella's a bit mad since she's basically saying that oh, so you get to keep all the secrets you want, but I can't even keep one secret to myself. And that's kind of the sort of that argument. Like, she has a valid point that if she wants to keep her own secrets to herself, like, yeah, she can do it, and she doesn't have to necessarily fall suit or tell anyone, that sort of speak. But Walker is tired. He doesn't want to have this conversation anymore, and decides to just to drive home, just call it a day. And so they both head off back home. Mickey heads up ahead of him to her house, and we just get a little update between her and Trey. They won the state championships without Stella, so big victory for them. Congratulations on all fronts. But however, then when we come to so they also he's still not 100% recovered yet from the storm. The side effects are still there, and he's still dizzy a bit. He's still not ready to drive, and that sort of thing. So we're still getting updates on that front. Liam does get I don't know if he gets ahead of the story or he posts his own story, but he was just reading the comments, and he's not happy with the general direction. Also, number one thing, if it's a bad comment, don't read it. Just don't read it. You're gonna get stressed out over nothing. And then I believe we get a scene where also, there was a scene before I forgot to mention. I keep forgetting this. I forgot in the original recording. I forgot it now. In order that the Grandma Walker and Hoyt were together for a bit. They were making some sandwiches, having some fun, and he was being open that Jerry was being a little bit distant, wasn't being her usual self, and he's getting worried that maybe Jerry's finally realizing that there are other options better than Hoyt, and that he doesn't want to lose her, and he wants to actually have a real committed thing going. So Grandma Walker decides to give him an engagement ring. Now, before you think about it, no, this is not the same engagement ring that she has. It's actually another engagement ring she got from another man, but she never gave it back when she rejected his proposal. So, Grandma Walker's quite a player. She's quite a player. Got that diamond running around there. They could be rich. Who knows? Anyway, but however, back to the Jerry's house, I'm presuming. Hoyt is properly proposing to Jerry, but she says no, since she just can't right now. And she even admits to him that her and Walker kissed and they had that moment together, and right now she just doesn't know what to do. And Hoyt's just trying his damn best not to lose it. He really is trying. And then after a moment, once he realizes that she's not just not gonna change, because even she says we're just two people wanting to start anew, do better things, and maybe it's just better just not to be with each other. And Hoyt doesn't take it that well, so he just leaves in a huff, and is about to go have a talk with Walker. So he arrives at the Walker house, and Grandma Walker's there to kind of greet him and kind of just comfort him a bit, give him the hug he desperately needs right now, while Walker and Stella are returning home. They talk about just some trying to just get back to normal, sort of. Stella wants to go on this road trip this coming summer with her dad that she wanted to do with her mom before she passed away. Now she wants Walker to do this, to go with her. So definitely a nice sign that their relationship's still not changed yet. But once they're pulling back up to the house, they notice all the cars, and they notice okay, maybe the whole family's there for just to see that we're back, and things seem to be fine. However, things are not to seem to be fine just quite yet, as another car approaches the driveway, which has Duke's old friend and Trevor's dad in tow, and which is oh boy, this is not going to end well whatsoever. And that's where we end the episode. So I really did enjoy this episode. I really did. I felt that I really wanted the Walker and Jerry stuff to be resolved already with this episode. I want them to have the talk, but they didn't really have the talk, sort of. So there's still a lot of unsaid things going on. I don't think we'll get those answers next week, I don't believe. But hey, one man has to dream. I appreciate that Liam is still we're getting slow progression with Liam being a DA storyline. I think we will get a resolution out of that this season. I don't think it's going to be just we'll save that for season 2 type thing. I do believe we'll see the results of that. And yeah, they are just diving a little tippy toe into the politics side of things. About just keeping secrets and having the best public image possible to get the most amount of votes possible, that sort of thing. But this episode was mainly morely about Stella and forgot his name again one more time, Trevor. It was mostly about them, since they both technically. I don't think this episode definitely had a carry-out moment. I was definitely expecting Walker and Jerry to be the carry-out moment throughout all this, but I mean, it was kind of about them, since these are just two young kids, that are in love, that had to deal with this whole forbidden past type thing. So I guess it was sweet, but I don't know, and also, no offense to the actor, the way Trevor was kind of acting in the start, I thought he was kind of in on this larger scheme. That's what the thought I was getting, because she was like, let's go to this cabin that's very far away, or turn off your phone, turn off your location services. Which I'm thinking to myself, this is all sus behavior. I will not trust this boy whatsoever. See, those are the little things that I kind of get, a little bit worried by. So, but I really hope that that Walker and Jerry's inevitable conversation is not going to drag the whole freaking second half of the season. We need to see this soon, because the longer they do, the more they got to talk about it. And I don't know what's going to happen next week. I really don't know. The promo for that is very, very lacking in footage, so that's concerning. But with that being said, I still just give this episode a thumb and a half, and I still thought it was a good episode. It wasn't one of the better Walker episodes, but it was still good overall. Sorry about that. But I think that's gonna do it for me, everyone, ladies. Because I am just tired, and I've done this recap 2 times, and my stomach's recovering from dinner. So I think that's gonna do it for me tonight. So if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the first season of Walker. If you want to know what we're doing overall on What's in the Tube besides our Walker reviews, we are currently going to start tomorrow our High School Musical, the series, season 2 episode reviews. I'm excited. I'm very excited to get back into that world properly. It's been a big lead up the last week for me as I did the High School Musical 3 review for What's in the Tube last week on the Saturday time slot. And all throughout this week, I've been just listening to High School Musical songs during my gym workouts. Oh boy. Those will stop when I eventually see the show. So I can't wait to get back to it. So that will be starting out tomorrow, but you can catch it today on Disney Plus. If you have it, go watch it. Hopefully it's really good. Can't wait to watch it later today. We also do rookie episode reviews each and every Monday morning after a brand new episode on Sunday nights on ABC or on Hulu the next day. This Monday is the season 3 finale, so it's going to be a big episode with big cliffhangers and hopefully a big season 4 renewal at the end of it. ABC freaking announced it at your upfronts. Get it over with already. But however, after that's done, we're going to a season 3 review the next week and then a season 4 predictions video the week after that. So we still have a few more weeks of rookie content to go. And also we are doing Nancy Drew episode reviews each and every Thursday mornings after a brand new episode on Wednesday nights on the CW or free the next day on the CW app. But again, if you don't care about Walker, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another episode review. Can't wait for that. But again, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe to ActionX on youtube.com/ActionX. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live for Walker, which is normally every Friday mornings after a brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW. Like, favorite, share this review if you want to, but it does help us get us out there to other members of the Walker family fan base who have yet to discover us. It helps us beat up that YouTube algorithm, and sharing is always for free. Follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates for the channel. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of Walker? I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. But until then, for all you members of the Walker family, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace